Ladies and gentlemen, it is showtime. Please enjoy the show.
It's the corner where the Chiefs at.
Is this the passing of the torch, right? Is this what this signifies?
It comes down to that front office and what they feel is most important.
The champ is here. We've touched down from a higher plane. Why you landed here?
We always look forward to that week because it was always intense.
You know that we ain't coming back. We about to.
The man, the myth, the legend, Dante Hall. My favorite player growing up was Dante Hall. I love you guys in the show, but Dante was my guy.
Get to dashing because you done on the warfare.
It's the bye week for the Kansas City Chiefs. A chance for Mahomes and the crew to rest up, reset, and gear up for the stretch run. But just because there's no game this weekend doesn't mean the action stops, especially on FanDuel. Right now, Kansas City is slightly better than even money to win the AFC West, sitting around plus 125, which means $100 could turn into $225 if the Chiefs take the division again. And if you've got your eyes on the big prize, Kansas City sitting at about 5.5 to 1 odds to win the Super Bowl. So the value's there if you believe this team's about to catch fire down the stretch. FanDuel has you covered every step of the way, futures, props, parlays, and everything in between, all with fast payouts and an app smoother than a Mahomes sidearm throw. And don't forget, every Friday on Chief Concerns, we drop our best 5-leg same-game parlay for the week ahead. Plus, JD's 10 keys to victory for what the Chiefs need to focus on coming out of the bye. Download the FanDuel Sportsbook app and make every snap, every bet count. The bye week might be quiet, but it's the perfect time to get in on the action. Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Chief Concerns. It's a very special episode tonight. We have something we're doing that hasn't really been done before in the Chiefs content creation space. We have two guys, two titans of content, as I always say, Carrington Harrison and our guy Lance the Spoken, coming on here tonight to talk kind of about, some rumblings they've had, over the past few years. I would say, I think I've tracked it back to 2023, but it could be even deeper than that. I don't know. But our guy, former Chiefs tight end Jason Dunn, will be joining us shortly, and then we'll be kicking things off here to talk about this kind of feud, I would say. I'll let them kind of talk about it more so than that. But we're calling it the Chiefs Festivus. For those of you who don't know, if you're a Seinfeld person, Festivus is a holiday for the rest of us, a time for airing of grievances. And tonight, that's exactly what we're going to be doing with these guys. Over the past few years, like I said, some tension brewing between the two of Kansas City's biggest Chiefs voices. Lance has spoken from Twitter, or his podcast has spoken, and of course, Carrington Harrison from 96.5. The drive, the tweets, the takes, the shade. It's been building between these two guys. So, we're doing something a little bit different, right? Instead of letting it kind of simmer online between the two guys, or on the airwaves, taking shots at each other, we're going to have these guys talk to each other and kind of talk it out. Hopefully you can come away with some mutual respect for each other if they don't already have it with each other. But if not, at least we tried, right? We can at least say we tried on the show tonight. But yeah, it should be a good one. And our guy, former Chiefs tight end Jason Dunn, is joining us right now. JD, I was just trying to give the background to everybody of what we're about to happen with these two gentlemen, these two fine guys. Should be a good one, right, JD?
Should be a good one, yeah. It's always a good one. Listen, hey, man, it's Chief Concerns, man. We know it's going to be a good one. Always. Listen, we got Lance, we got Carrington. Hey, we going to be good. We got Teja, got Marcus. Come on, man. This is a full Friday night, baby. This is a full Friday night. I don't know where else anybody would want to be besides over here. Shoot. And if you want to be somewhere else, then you're just wrong, okay? You're just wrong.
Yeah.
So,
thousands in attendance and millions watching around the world.
So JD, I know both these guys are kind of on time restraints in here tonight, so we're gonna kind of get going here. But for those of you who kind of don't know the background between these two guys, so after we kind of established this thing last Friday, I asked both Carrington and Lance if they have any kind of clips or tweets of stuff they wanted to kind of showcase to the world or to our Chief Concerns community tonight, or the Chiefs content world. And Carrington said he just has thoughts he wants to share. But Lance, which is I respect the thoughts. He just wants to get it out there. And then our guy Lance sent me a couple things he wanted me to kind of dish out there, which he'll probably elaborate on when
Got some receipts.
He got some receipts, which he'll elaborate on when we get to the face-to-face between the two of them. So I'm going to play this, and then we can bring the two gentlemen on. So this is what Lance has sent me.
Rob, give me some toss-up music here. I've got a great toss-up to ask you.
Toss-up.
Who do you think plays in more games this season? Is it Chris Jones or Kadarius Toney? Lad, how you doing today, my man? How you doing?
I think the most truthful part of that is that you take a lot of your swag from me.
I do, absolutely, 100%. You inspired me every single step of the way.
On a larger platform, you just take my content and kind of give your own spin on it.
Oh, so I love to do that. I love to take other people's things and then I kind of put my own sauce on it and then package the ideas as my own. I'm like Lance the Spoken that way. It's kind of what I do. That's kind of what I do. Do you think he was talking to Mike Hilton when he said cry about it? Because he couldn't have been talking to Mike Hilton. Mike Hilton said we win games on the field, not on Twitter. And then his response was to tweet to the Bengals. He couldn't have been talking to Mike Hilton. He couldn't have been. Who was he talking to? Lance the Spoken? Who was he talking to?
So that's the collection that Lance kind of put together, that montage for this breakdown. So guys, if you have any questions of the feud that's going on here, that's Lance's side of things. We'll let Carrington kind of talk about that on his side of things. So without further ado, let's bring the gentleman in here. JD, do you want to lay the groundwork once they're in here as far as how you want this debate to be?
Hey man, we're gonna keep the debate civil. We're going to have a conversation, good discourse, of course, and talk about some of the things that that guys have questions about. And, we'll just kind of discuss it. We obviously there's going to be no yelling back and forth. We'll let each member, expound on what they believe on and whatnot. I'll come in, Teja, or any of y'all come in. But this, we'll have a conversation. I think the conversation is good, especially with Chiefs Kingdom out here. There's a lot of opinions. Everybody has opinions. And I think all of them should be respected. Or if you don't like them, you don't like them. So with that being said, go ahead, Marcus. Introduce these brothers right here, man. I like both these guys. Okay.
In the left corner, we got our guy, Lance the Spoken, coming in here right now. Look at Lance, the big screen right there. We got Lance coming in here from the left, from the Spoken podcast, at Lance the Spoken on Twitter. Lance, how you doing, buddy?
I'm glad to be here. This is an opportunity I never take lightly whenever you do these shows with you guys. You know that we did a show, was it a week ago, Marcus? That was a blast, dude. So being on the same screen with my boy JD, it's been a long time, bro. I miss you, man.
Miss you too, brother.
On you. Tasia, you're all right too, man, I guess. So no, I was kidding. I love you, Tasia. Good to be back, boys. It's going to be a fun night for the time that we have tonight, man. I'm looking forward to it.
Lance, can you bolster up your volume there? Pretty low, buddy.
I was literally just about to ask if it sounds good. What are we doing now?
Pretty rough still.
Okay, let me turn myself up a little bit more. One thing I'm not is an engineer. That's for damn sure.
That's all right, buddy.
How we sounding now? We sound good?
A little bit better.
Okay.
Kind of
about the same.
Yeah. Is it your mic placement? Is it your mic placement maybe?
I mean, it's all red over here, man. So we should be good now.
Seems like it got a little bit louder just there.
Sorry about that, fellas.
No, you good. You're good. Good to see you too, my brother. You're doing well, man. Hey, I appreciate you coming on the show last week, filling in for me, man. We got some things going on in the family that everybody's been on here talking about and praying about, and sending injuries still our way. So we appreciate you, man. So love you, man. We always talk about our mac and cheese debate and stuff. So it's always a good one.
Hell yeah, man. How am I sounding now, fellas?
Better.
All right, good. All right.
And in the other corner, we got our guy, Carrington Harrison. First time guest on the show. We need to have him back on here at some point. I know JD's been on his show before, but we're getting Carrington Harrison in here. Let's give him a full screen. What's up, Carrington? Thanks for coming on, buddy.
Hey, what's up? How you guys doing? I want to just comment to what Jason said. I've met Lance one time. I don't have any personal animosity towards Lance, so I don't want that to be the tone of this conversation. I don't really have much respect for Lance's content, so we're going to talk about that through the course of this conversation. But that's all it's going to be about. I don't know Lance, so I can't speak to who Lance is as a person. I don't know about any of that, so I'm more than happy to keep the conversation to that. I don't have anything else to talk about.
Well, I tell you what, I appreciate you, Carrington, for saying that, keeping it civil. Myself, I do have some questions to ask both of you guys, right?
Yeah, of course.
You're both good voices in the kingdom to hear about. And so I want to hear some takes, obviously, with the things that we might not did this past week as far as moving to try to get somebody else here, right? Because, and to be honest, that's why I was telling Marcus, these past few weeks, man, because I have been busy doing a lot of family stuff. I haven't really caught a lot of what Lance has said, and Carrington, where I'm not in the market, I'm out here in Kentucky. I don't catch a whole lot of what you say either, my brother. So, I just want to, y'all just kind of summarize, what y'all takes were a little bit about where the Chiefs, where they are this, where you feel like they are this season as well. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
absolutely.
Be a good conversation, man.
But
Okay.
I appreciate you saying that, Carrington. And I think both you guys are going to be, keeping it respectful and like you don't know him outside his takes, and that's good. We'll leave it there. So with this whole thing, I try to do some digging on kind of figuring out where this kind of this feud online kind of began. I found 2023 was the earliest I could find, but maybe it goes deeper than that. I don't know. But can you guys, Lance, can you kind of talk about the clips you sent me, the montage I played earlier? Can you kind of explain that a little bit?
Sure. Yeah. Those are just examples that I have of recent memory because I'll start off by saying, obviously, I echo what CDOT just said right there. There's nothing of personal matters on my end either, man, because me and CDOT, I think we met one time. I think it was a movie theater, and I dapped him up, just said what's up, because I obviously recognized him and wanted to say hi and kind of leave it at that. But yeah, there's nothing personal. But yeah, there's the recent stuff I remember is just what you showed on the clips right there. And it was just, to me, I'll just come out and say it right now. It's more of a humorous thing to me. It's not even like I'm angry about it. It's like, for instance, the clip when you hear him talking to Aaron Ladd, that was something I didn't even actually hear myself. That was something that was sent to me by a family member who listens to Carrington's show. And I just listened to it. I started laughing. I shared it because obviously when your name is brought on the biggest show in Kansas City, that's something that you probably should be proud of. So there's nothing that I actually want to address that is of anger or anything like that. It's just when I heard the take, and I guess that's something I kind of wanted to address off the top, is when I hear Carrington say something like, I repackage other people's takes and do those things, I would like some examples because I provided my own tonight. I see that, that is an accusation of sorts that Carrington wanted to put out there randomly on his show. I don't even know how I came up because I'm just a troll according to some people. It's just funny that I was on Carrington's mind in the middle of a show during an interview with a friend of his. I just wanted to kind of get an example, some references of what I've copied, because that's something that I take really seriously when it comes to my content, whether people respect it or not, is I like to be as authentic as possible with my takes. I like to have take integrity. Usually my takes are the ones that get a lot of notoriety because of the fact that a lot of people disagree with it. So it's kind of hard for me to believe that I'm taking someone else's takes when a lot of people, almost everybody, almost on a daily basis disagrees with me and gives me nothing but crap for it. And it's okay. It's just the nature of the beast. But I would like to hear that. And again, when I show examples from my end of takes that may or may not have been taken from my side and used on certain shows, I just, like I said, I'm trying to come to this with an honest platform and try to have that discussion because, again, I have nothing against Carrington as a person. We've only met one time, according to my recollection. I would just like some clarity on that.
Carrington?
Yeah, I guess, man, I guess I have a couple of reasons of doing this. I don't want anybody to ever think that I'm at the stage of my career where I don't think that going on podcasts like this are important. I appreciate what you guys are doing on Chiefs Concerns. I at least want to start with this. I don't have any interest in talking about the Chiefs with Lance. So, Jason, if you want to come on the show later individually to promote the podcast, very happy to do that. That's not why I'm on here. I'm on here for a couple of different things. It is ridiculous to me that somebody that has to talk about the Chiefs 300 days a year the way that I do, there are two examples of Lance and I having the same take, yet I am being accused of stealing Lance's takes to promote on the show. That's ridiculous to me. The other thing that I think is, and I think, Marcus, I think that's your name. You and I have never really formally spoken before. You called Lance an important voice in the kingdom. He's not. Like, we got to be honest here. We got to be truthful. He's not any of those things. So I am here. If we're going to have a conversation based on truth and take integrity, to use the words that Lance just used, those two things are factually inaccurate. So let's at least acknowledge those things before we move forward in this conversation.
Go ahead,
will,
guys. Take it away.
JD, do you want to say something, JD?
Yeah. So, you know what I'm saying? You know, so we all have our, I guess, parts to play, right? And so as someone, if Marcus is using the word of saying that Lance is an important part or important voice in the kingdom, you know, some people may say a troll, some might be saying, hey, look, he's just giving takes to get more engagement. I don't know how that doesn't give him credibility for, you know, having an opinion, right? Everybody has an opinion out there. Same with you, Ken.
Absolutely. I'm not. Everybody is allowed to have an opinion and takes on the Chiefs. Like, they're not a monopolized thing. But to me, how did Lance gets ownership over a Tyquan Thornton trade hypothetical? Like, what are we doing here? Like, this is ridiculous. Like, right. This is a silly notion that we're saying here. So that doesn't make any sense to me, to be completely honest. And like, if we're talking about what you've built up, Lance has been doing this for 15 years. We have factual evidence. He has been passed up by so many of his peers. So what are we doing here? Like, Lance has not grown as a content creator. So I'm challenging you guys at Chief Concern. If you love Lance and you care about him, help him be better at this, because he's not that good at it. He's not that good at it. That's where I'm coming from. I genuinely do not think Lance is good at this. I don't. I do not think he's good. I don't respect his content. I don't respect his takes or his opinions. I don't go on his page. I don't take anything from him. That's ridiculous to me.
Yeah. So that's the contention. So Lance is sitting there saying, yeah, even a couple of examples for 15 years that if here's some though, Carrington, but if you referenced him a couple of times, right? So what's the point of referencing somebody that to you doesn't really have a voice? What's the point even at least acknowledging that he is out here saying stuff, right? Let me hear what you have to say about that. Like, why even acknowledge Lance then?
I just like knowing that it bothers Lance because I don't like Lance's opinions. That's if you want my opinion, like, you know what I mean? Like
it's flattering. It's flattering.
I'm happy, Lance. I'm happy to give you that. These are some of the highlights of you doing this. So I'm happy if you're telling me that a 15-second mention on my show brightens your day. That's good. It brightens my day to put you down on my show. So that I'm cool with that. I at least want to be honest with this on Chiefs Concerns. Like I'd say, we're keeping it to sports. We're keeping it to takes. Like, everybody doesn't have to like everybody. Everybody doesn't have to think that everybody is good at this. You know, like Jason, I'm sure you played with other football players that you were like, that guy's not good. I don't know why this guy got a second contract. I don't know why this guy gets playing time. So like, I'm at least coming to it from that perspective. Like, I'm cool with us not patching up anything. I'm perfectly fine with that. I feel very content at my voice in this space. I don't wish to be anybody else in this space. I'm good. I'm happy. I don't know if Lance feels that way, but I'm good.
I've been smiling this whole time, man. What's funny is you keep saying these things derogatory towards my content and my things, but you don't refute what I literally brought up at the beginning of the show. And again, I'm smiling this whole time, dude, because what
parts would you like for me to refute? I'm happy to do that. What parts would you like for me to refute?
The parts where you literally have an hour before your hypothetical question, which is verbatim of my tweets. Are you going to refute that you didn't see that tweet and use that on your show?
I swear to you on whatever you want me to put it on. I have never gone on Lance the Spoken's Twitter account and used your content. This is why. It doesn't hurt me in any way to say I saw this on Twitter or I saw this on X, Y, and Z's page. It's not like the listener is going to say, oh, well, this came from so-and-so and turn the dial. They don't care. They want to be entertained. So I don't mind. Like, I guess when I say I come take topics from other people, that was kind of tongue in cheek, but like, I don't care where the content comes from. A person with 7 followers on Twitter can ask a good question that is a basis for a topic. Giving that person credit for it, it doesn't take away from anything. Like, you know, I think everybody here listens to rap. Like, I hear rappers quote other bars all the time in rap music. So like, it's not like I don't think Jay-Z's a great rapper because I've heard him quote a Biggie line. So like, why would I take your poll and then not give you? It just does. I don't know how that helps me. I don't know how it benefits me to do that.
Just for the record, I just want to make sure I'm hearing you clearly. You are saying that an hour after I tweeted that, you randomly just came up with the same exact question, word for word, with the same 2 players.
I whatever you want me to put it on. If you want me to put it on the Bible, you want me to whatever you want me to put it on. I have never gone on your Twitter page and taken a topic from you. So I'm with you. It is a coincidence, but I would just like to point out that we have 2 examples of this since 2023. My show is done perfectly fine without any Lance the Spoken topics. According to you, I didn't do it at all in 2024, like not at any point during the season. I didn't do it. Well, I'm just saying.
Those are the references I had, and actually one of the references you talk about the Cyclone Thornton thing. That wasn't even just you that actually used that. The next morning after I had made the specific tweet that I think that Taekwon Thornton should go to the Giants for a 6th-round pick, the next morning I hear on Fesco's show, which again has nothing to do with you, just an example I'm making, use the exact same trade scenario. And it just, like I said, these are things that I just actually find humorous because there isn't the reciprocal value. Because to your credit, there's been many instances where you've had different guests on, or there's things that you have said on your show that I'm like, you know what? That's some good stuff. I need to clip that, put it on our show because I want to give them due credit for that. And that's why I just kind of find that stuff funny. But the last thing I really want to ask you, Carrington, directly, since we're on the same show together at the same time, is you make the quote you had to Aaron Ladd. I always found that really interesting. Not that it's in any way upsetting to me. Like I said, I found it very flattering that I randomly come to your mind on the middle of your show. What takes have I repackaged and used as my own?
I don't know if it's necessarily a take, so maybe that was just an incorrect thing to say. I would say that a lot of times, well, I guess maybe this is the best way to do it. I think a large portion of your content is taking incorrect opinions from more successful people, and that is a fuel for your content. Like, I bet you, if we go on your Twitter page right now, it is you retweeting something from Jason McIntyre. It is retweeting something from Colin Cowherd. Maybe that's what I'm referring to is, I think that is a large basis of your content. I think you are a cold take artist, which is cool, whatever, but I think part of why you have not grown the fan base that other contemporaries have grown is, that's your content. You started a Twitter page 2 years before Seth Kaiser. You ain't Seth Kaiser. Like, we know that.
Who is? Seth Kaiser's amazing in his work. I never compare myself to anybody else. You keep comparing me to everybody else. I don't compare myself to anybody. You talk about my peers. You said you don't know me.
I do compare myself to other people because we're all in this same space. I mean, I'm competitive in this space. I don't.
So I'm your peer then.
You create Chiefs content, right?
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, you are my peer in that way. I mean, I'm higher above you in the food chain, but yes, you are my peer. Absolutely. That doesn't mean we have to be at odds on a personal level, but I mean, Chiefs Concerns is a peer of mine. I mean, there's only so much listening space for people that are out there. It's not like you can listen to everybody's show at the same time. So yes, we are absolutely competing in the same pool. I have Chiefs thoughts, Chiefs Concerns has them, Seth Kaiser, and everybody can eat. So I'm not here to take food off anybody's plate when it comes to that. But to me, you be serious to not view other people as competition in this space.
I genuinely don't. I don't look at you as competition. I do this for one reason only, to give my opinion to people and see where the conversation goes. You can sit here and say I've been doing this for 15 years, which is oddly specific, seeing you claim that you don't follow anything I do.
I looked it up online. It's just, it's all online. You started the Spoken.
Okay, so you took the time to look up things. You took the time.
Why would I not? I mean, we were playing.
How specific are you to say that you know what my content is on Twitter?
That's prep.
You said you don't see my stuff. You don't look me up. You never looked at anything I do, but yet you know what kind of content I do provide. How is that possible?
Lance, because people retweet you. I mean, I don't follow Donald Trump. I know when he tweets. Like, what are we doing here? Like, we all can follow people and don't know what they like. This is silly. We all know what people follow. It's how the internet works, is it not? You don't follow me. My tweets don't ever pop up on your timeline?
No, they do not.
Okay. All right.
I swear to you, they don't.
No, okay. That makes sense. No, that's okay. Got you. I got 70,000 Twitter followers, a lot of mutual followers that you have, but nobody that follows you retweets my things. Okay, I got it. Makes sense.
Believe it or not, that's actually the truth.
I know that makes sense.
Do you listen to his show? Do you listen to his show, Lance?
Absolutely, yes. Carrington has the afternoon show in Kansas City. He has no competition because the guy on the other station does trivia in the middle of the day, so there's nothing else. And I'm listening for breaking content. I'm listening for his guests. And obviously, there's things that CDOT has made or brought up in his shows that are good points. Like I said, I've used his clips on our show, courtesy of 96.5 The Fan, Carrington Harrison, The Drive. I've put his stuff on our show because there are things on his show throughout times that I have agreed with, that I have wanted to use. That's called the respect that I have for his platform, for what he does. So yeah, of course, he knows that I've listened to his show.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people do, but I mean, your fandom means a lot to me.
Well, it's very interesting. Like the cold take online, it's become a really popular thing, and aggregating in itself is kind of like that to agree. It's taking someone.
That's what Lance does. That's the kind of content that Lance makes.
Putting
He
it
makes
out.
that's what he does. That's
But I
his
guess that's
content.
the-
I'm just
I
saying
guess
I don't
like-
have a whole lot of respect for that. So like I think something's interesting that Lance said. Lance said that he does this for opinions and all of those things. Yeah, we all do it. That like I do it to also be the best. Like I do it to be the best. I imagine you guys at Chiefs Concerns, like you don't do this podcast to be viewed as the best Chiefs podcast of all the ones out there. Again, there's so many people that are pulling for your ear and pulling for your opinions. Like that's part of why I'm doing it for. I'm doing it to be the best.
That's fair.
Yeah, I mean, with a market that's saturated, obviously, with Chief content, there's so many creators out here, right, doing different things. Radio, like you said, there's people hear this, on TV, there's getting opinions all the time about it. And I think what Lance is sitting there saying, so Lance, what you're really asking is like, look, if I do have something out here, and Carrington, you do see it, all I'm asking for some recognition, like, hey, look, Lance put this out on his show. If I do see this, and I'm just retweeting what Lance has said. Yeah. I think that's not a hard ask to do.
That is the one thing that we agree on in this whole thing. If I took something from Lance or you guys or Arrowhead Pride, I don't have any problem. I don't have any problem. Cole is on here. Shout out to How About Those Chiefs. Plenty of times I've said, hey, Cole from How About Those Chiefs. Again, like there's enough room for all of us to eat. Like there's enough room for me. There's enough room for you guys. There's enough room for everybody to eat out here. So I don't feel like I monopolize any of these things. So yeah, but like there is a competition of, yes, whenever a trade happens with the Chiefs and the average Chiefs fan has to make a decision of whose opinion they want to hear on this thing, I want my opinion to be the first one that they listen to. Absolutely.
So let me ask you this. So because you say accuse Lance of kind of doing the same thing Lance is almost saying about you. You say he's getting stuff from like Jason McIntyre and different ones, and he's putting it out there as bad takes. You're sitting there like, see, I'm watching what you're doing. This is something that Jason McIntyre or somebody else has said out here and put it out here.
I think that's, but I understand what the point that you're making. I think that is the foundation of Lance's opinions. I don't think that Lance is very good outside of that space. I don't think he's very good at talking about the Chiefs. I think the public doesn't think that Lance is very good at talking about the Chiefs, if I'm being honest with you guys. I feel like the core, what Lance does, what Lance is known for on social media, I feel like is what you're talking about. I don't feel like that's how people feel about my show.
I will say, though, there is something to be said, because I disagree with Lance a lot. We get into it about LeBron and plenty.
That's common. That's common, actually. That would put you in the majority of people.
Yeah, I do feel like people like to disagree with Lance. He's like the Skip Bayless of like the Chiefs like world. Like people love to disagree and hate on an opinion that they might accept if someone else said it. I feel like there's a reluctance to maybe like you guys had a similar take. Not that you guys stole from one another, but I think someone would be much more open to hear that take and accept it from you than from Lance. I feel like people already have like this filter with Lance sometimes. And this is coming from someone who disagrees with him a lot, but I just feel like people go into it with already going, Lance said it, it must be wrong. Whereas if someone else said it, it might be right. You know what I mean?
That seems like a branding issue to me, what you're describing right there. That's not good. I would say that's not good. Somebody who's been in this space for as long as Lance have, the fact that you feel that way about it, that's not good.
But I feel like people enjoy bothering him the same way you said, hey, for nothing else, I get
yeah, because I think for the most part, I don't think that Lance, like when I think Marcus was the one that called him a Titan, I don't think that the public feels that way about Lance. No, I don't. I think that people, I'm a big believer of, I think you get the energy that you give back. And I think the energy that Lance gives back is he likes to try to dunk on people online. So I think that people try to dunk on Lance online. I don't try to dunk on people. I guess Colin Cowherd says this. Oh, here we go. I'll quote Colin Cowherd here. Let me give him credit for this. It is not my job. It's not my job to give you my opinion on your opinion of what I think. You're allowed to feel however you feel. If you think the Broncos are winning the AFC West, great. You think the Chargers are winning the AFC West, great. I'm going to tell you why I think the team that I pick is going to win the AFC West. That's how I try to live the show. So yeah. So I guess to me, when you mention that, what you just say about Lance, I would say that is a branding issue that Lance is struggling with and has struggled with for a very long time.
And, Lance, I mean, I'm sure you've noticed in modern day, any attention, negative or positive, is good attention, right? I mean, it's good to be called out. Like, it's good to have people mention you, whether it's for good or bad. I mean, it gets eyes on you either way. I mean, people, you're notorious. Maybe that's like a name, a word maybe Marcus could have used. Like, 'cause, I mean, you're a notorious figure in the Chiefs world for sure. That's always good, no matter what, whether your opinion sucks or whether it's golden, right?
Yeah, and we live in the hot take world. Obviously, that's something that Carrington mentions, that you want everyone's ear. It's a battle for ears. Carrington makes a great point by saying that. That is something that you obviously want. You want people's attention. What I find funny, and this isn't even just at Carrington, because obviously there's a lot of crap that I get on Twitter, but there's been times I've tried to recollect or figure out why that is the case, because I can genuinely say that everything I put out there is like what I'm thinking at that time. And there's been times I've been dead wrong, and there's been times I've nailed it. There's been many instances of both. And I think what it is that sometimes we count the misses and not the hits, because Carrington is right. I won't refute that when it comes to the gotcha moments. That's something I've had to kind of lean back a little bit from, because I have got caught up on that. Guys like Jason McIntyre that says something. I mean, shit. There's a whole Twitter account called Chief Receipts that literally has my previous takes and picture still frames as their header and as like their pin profile stuff. So that is something I have leaned into, and I have to kind of lean out of that, because I realize that is getting kind of bland. That is kind of boring to me at this point. But what's funny though is that is only a percentage of the things I put out there. So this is where I do disagree with Carrington. When he says that is my brand or that is my whole thing, that is what people are choosing to just look at, because if you go down my timeline, there are takes of all different types of Chiefs things that are not spicy. They're boring, because you can even see people's comments about like, yeah, no shit, dude. These are things that I want to put out there, but that's not what gets people's attention. For whatever reason, the things I put out there receipts wise or gotcha wise are the things that happen to gain some traction, are the things, because we live in a negative world. We live in a world where people like those gotcha freezing cold tapes type of takes. And we've seen our guy Mark Gunnels get hit in that multiple times on that platform alone. That's what happens. That's what people pay attention to. So I don't accept this idea that those are the only things I put out there, because like I said, you can go and listen to the previous episode I just did on this very show. Not one single time were we doing gotcha moments or anything like that. Marcus Dash and I are breaking down film, we're breaking down games, we're breaking down thoughts and opinions on what we're seeing with this team moving forward and what's happened to this point. That's the stuff that for whatever reason gets missed on people, and that's what for whatever reason doesn't get the same attention, man. That isn't for me to decide. I can't pick and choose what people gravitate towards from my point of view. I put out content on a consistent basis, things that vary all across the board, man. So I don't accept that part, and Carrington can have that belief. He can say that's my brand, but again, a guy that doesn't pay attention to me seems to know a lot about my brand.
Yeah, I guess I would just say, I mean, you just kind of described it. So you say the things that you do that get traction and the things that you don't do to get traction. I mean, it's not like that's the only thing that gets noticed. You and I both mentioned Seth Kaiser. I have all the respect in the world for Seth Kaiser. That's not the way that Seth Kaiser operates. That's not the way that Seth Kaiser has grown and grown and grown. He doesn't operate in that space. People go to Seth Kaiser because they trust it for film analysis and breakdown. That's not why people go to Pete Sweeney. That's not why people go to Kent Swanson or some of the other great content creators out there. But I'm saying is, if you have created a brand in which you and Marcus are breaking down film and you don't feel like people care about that, but people want to see you dunk on Jason McIntyre, I'm sorry to tell you, that's your brand then. That's the case. That's your brand. So rebrand. So rebrand then. I guess I don't know what to tell you then. You just described your brand to us. So you can't argue that's not your brand if you're telling me that you're doing great other content that people don't care about.
I didn't classify my brand, my content. I'm telling you what I put out there on a consistent basis.
I know, but I'm saying is you just told us, that your cold takes, I'm saying you said your cold takes get traction and you breaking down film doesn't. then I'm saying is you have packaged yourself. People don't expect that from you. People don't want that from you. That's what I'm telling you. That's what the market is telling you. I'm in this market, Lance. I know I got to keep up. If I'm McDonald's, I got to know what Burger King is selling. I got to know what Wendy's is selling. I'm trying to crush Wendy's. I'm trying to crush Burger King. So yes, I'm keeping an eye on what you're doing. I'm keeping an eye on what Cole is doing. I'm keeping an eye on what Chiefs Concern is doing. I am the host of the most popular show amongst men in Kansas City, regardless of platform. You think the shit randomly happened? No. I'm coming to crush people like you, Lance, every day.
Yeah, so that was my look, and I get it.
Oh,
that was really my question is this being seen as punching down? You know, the little guy.
I don't care about that's the thing. I don't care about that. I mean, again, but Jason, I hear what you're saying. We're keeping it sports. We're keeping it entertainment. I can see if I was talking about Lance's personal life. I'm not here making jokes about Lance's moms or his girl or his kids. I don't like. I'm keeping it to our space. What we're all in. We are all in this together. We all are in this together. I'm keeping it to that. So yes, punching down, punching up, whatever it is. Yeah. So I don't care about the punching down.
All take is for you. It is just, it's off with your head. That's all it is, basically.
Yes. Everybody should feel that way. Chiefs Concern. You should feel like we trying to beat Kingdom Cast. That's how y'all should feel. Every day. That's how y'all should feel.
Yeah. Well, so
100%.
I look at it in a different space, right? Mine is to give out information. I'm
me too.
No, but what I'm saying is I'm giving out information that is free to me. Look, we have certain followers, right, that come on our show, and I'm sitting there saying, look, you got an ex-player who's out here giving you information behind the scenes, people that I know, things that I knew we know, systematic wise, and so if I'm giving you insight, I think it's valuable, right? And there's things we feel like is valuable. So the thing is, I'm thinking about this, Carrington. I'm like, look, everybody out here can eat, right?
Sure.
Everybody out here can eat. What I hate about this is sometimes when people start hating on you more than anything else, and it's like, okay, somebody's hating on you about your content, saying no good or no go over here, like I have a problem with that.
I agree with you, and I want to be clear here. You don't see, and anybody in the chat, you don't ever hear me make fun of anybody's content on this thing other than Lance. I just don't like Lance. I I don't go on tomorrow. If you ask me to come back on Chiefs Concerns, happy to do it. I'm happy to go on anybody's Chiefs podcast that asks me to go on there. I'm happy to do it. Yeah, that's the case. So to your point, to keep with our analogy, yes, I'm here to inform. I'm here to entertain. McDonald's is here to feed people, but they also are in the business of selling more cheeseburgers than everybody else too. That's also the business that they're in. So I just want to point that out.
True. Yeah.
I do. It is interesting, though, and this is the one thing I've kind of learned since we started the podcast back in 2020. I've kind of gotten to know a little bit about – I'm still learning about all the different nuances and the feuds that go on within the Chiefs content creation space because there's a lot of it.
Politics.
There's a lot of it. But one thing I've noticed, and I will say this, Lance, while his podcast may not have 1 million subscribers, his tweets – sometimes he'll tweet out something that's like a simple thing like, the Broncos look awful tonight. And like for some reason, he'll get like 200 likes on that. Usually you see that from my accounts that have a big following. And Lance, well, sometimes he just tweets out something and just gets like hundreds of likes. I'm like, oh man, like Lance actually has a lot of impressions. And for a guy who's not, doesn't have this a thriving podcast, he gets a good amount of impressions on his tweets. And obviously, if he feels that, his stuff's being taken into radio, that's how he feels. But the question I do have, and this is for you, Carrington, I see that it's not just you when you make your comments on the airwaves about Lance and Lance has spoken. I do see it is kind of low hanging fruit with Lance, whereas like if this guy's not a popular, if he's not this popular, this figure that people don't think about in the content space, why do I see KCSN guys like quote tweeting him like a take he had from like a couple years ago? Like, oh, I remember when I remember when I saw this take last year. It's a quote tweet of a
because Marcus, I'm trying to tell you, this is what started this. Lance does not have the standing in the Chiefs community that you are trying to sell. That's what started this. When you called him the best in the content business, that is false. That is a lie. Erroneous on both counts. That's why. I'm telling you, you get what you give. Lance likes to dunk on people, so people like dunking on Lance. People want to catch a Lance body. That's why. That's what it is. You know, when you got a big dude in basketball like Sean Bradley, people think Lance is Sean Bradley. They're coming down the lane. They trying to windmill on his head. I'm telling you, that's the case. Because I like windmilling on Lance. Lance had some nonsense last year, basically trying to prove that DeAndre Hopkins was better than McCole Hardman and Sky Moore. Like, why'd you spend time looking this up? It's nonsense is what it was.
Wait, what was the take?
Last year, I could probably find it. I don't tweet Lance very often, but he had something that popped in mind. It was like adding up all the numbers from McCole and like Justin Watson, why the move DeAndre Hopkins. I was like, you did all this math to tell us that DeAndre Hopkins was better than Justin Watson? That just wasn't a good use of your time. So yes, I have dunked on Lance before, just like Lance has tried to dunk on me because I got to speak in the language that Lance understands. I got to speak in that. Lance is not on there to have reasonable Chiefs conversations with anybody. He don't follow enough people to try to have enough reasonable conversations with anybody. That's not why he's on there. He's on there to cause ruckus is what I feel like he is.
But I feel like there are a lot of people out there because we get crappy comments all the time from people, be it YouTube comments, Twitter comments. I mean, I'm not going out and quote tweeting these people. Like I've had to mute people from our timeline just because like I every time I post something, they'll say something bad about us. I'm like, dude, like I don't even know who you are. I'm not gonna go back and dig deep for that one guy's comment from a couple months ago.
But Marcus, this doesn't take like you're making it seem like this is some historical deep dive. You got to go to the public library to find these things. Like it's not that hard to do. Like it's not that hard to do. It's a 3-minute Google search. Like it's not that hard to find these things.
I get that. I'm
really
sure,
not.
And I'm sure you have callers who will call you, talk crap to you a lot.
Sure, that's the game. But I guess, and I'm sorry to cut you off here, but like that's the game. Like you guys do this. I'm in the comments when people said I was coming on here. Like I don't expect to have 100% approval rating. Like if you got 100% approval rating in this, like you're not good at this. So like the fact that people dislike Lance is a good thing. Like no one's arguing that. Like if you have an opinion that everybody agrees with, to me, you're not really pushing yourself. You're not trying to do those things. I think I don't know if it's an issue. I don't care that much about it. But like I think what the gentleman down below, I'm sorry, I don't know your name, when you were saying like why people is, if there are 100% of people, there are far more people that want to try to dunk on Lance than want to appreciate Lance and his opinions. And I'm challenging Lance. How do you get more people than the other side of the tent? I don't think I have 100% approval rating. Absolutely not. But I can give you a lot of evidence that say there are way more people that agree or want to hear my opinion than the other side of it.
I think the biggest reason, just from my point of view, because obviously I've been dead wrong about a lot of things. There's takes I've had that I'm like, God, what the hell was I thinking? Like that was a horrific take. I've had that many instances. I'll be the first to admit that, dude. I don't bat nearly close to 1,000, let alone probably 300. I think if you're asking me my honest opinion of why that is the case the majority of the time, it's because I've been somebody who's not afraid to say the things that I think a lot of fans are thinking, but don't want to say it because they don't want to. There's this, this, Carrington. You talk to Chiefs fans probably every single day, and there's this growing fear, or not even a growing fear, but this constant fear amongst Chiefs fans that they're not going to sound like a real fan. That cliche, you're not a real fan if you're coming out speaking negatively against this team. Man, that was of the earliest stages of when I started making content. I remember I put a YouTube video on my independent YouTube channel in 2012, and I called out Scott Pioli. I said, you need a bench Matt Caster, and you get rid of him, or Scott's got to go. And I had people threatening my freaking life in the chat, and not the chat, but the comments. And I think what it is, man, is just because a lot of people watch sports casually. They watch it for simply entertainment, whereas there's some of us that are obsessed with this, that love this game. They're obsessed with this game and want to have real opinions and real discourse about these things. And what happens is when there's people like myself that are not afraid to push the envelope and to talk about things that are inevitably going to end up being correct, those are the things that people are not comfortable talking about in the present tense. But I can't tell you how many times you want to talk about how many people disagree with me or don't like me. That is true. There's a lot of people that do not like me personally or do not like my content. But that's not what I concern myself with, because I can't tell you how many times I've had people say, hey, man, listen, I used to drag you under the mud on my personal platform, other content creators. And they'll DM me and say, hey, dude, you know, you ended up being right about this. And I appreciate the fact you never like clap back. You just say what you're saying, you let go. That's usually how I try to do things. Do I let my emotions get the best of me on times? Absolutely, dude. Do I try to tweet things to get back at somebody or quote unquote dunk on them? Of course I've done that. But there's also times where I've had to realize, dude, maybe just focus on your lane, focus on just making content. People like it, so be it. Because I do vehemently disagree with you. Maybe we just don't see things eye to eye. I see things like Jason does, because this is something we've talked about on Chief Concerns, my show, other shows in the Chiefs podcasting community, where we're like, look, we don't view each other as competition. We go on each other's shows, we talk with each other, because we look at it more as a family environment. That's the way I at least approach it. That's why I've connected with guys like Marcus Dash and JD and Teja, all chiefed up, other shows like that, because we view it more that way, man. So it's okay you view it your way, we just view it our way, and that'll be that, man.
No, yeah. You know what, Lance? I would say, man, this is one of the best points you've made so far. I don't think that another thing Colin Cowherd says, my issue is not whether or not you get a take right or wrong. It's sports. Like, people miss all the time. If you got things right all the time, none of us would do this. I would just stay at home and gamble on sports all the time. Like, why would I work? I know what's going to happen. I'll put my money up and I would just gamble on it. Like, you can profit off being right all the time. I would say the brand that you have created, I would say I do successfully. I'm not even hating right now saying you do it unsuccessfully. I would say that my show, I was one of the first people to start talking about the decline of Travis Kelce. No one else was willing to have that conversation about Travis Kelce. You tried to troll me about it for years. Okay, whatever. So, like, I don't necessarily stop it. Come on now. We can find it. Come on now. We don't have to do that.
No, Bob was trolling you on his own show.
You also were. Come on now, Lance. Come on now.
It was a bad take, Carrington.
Okay, I mean, I disagree, but that's perfectly, again, you are allowed to agree with that.
When did you start saying that? When did you start saying he was declining?
It was after the Minnesota game a couple years ago, whatever game that was. I can't remember the exact one, but I remember it was there. Because I remember at halftime I tweeted, because Nate Taylor, friend of mine, you guys know Nate Taylor comes on the show. He always tweets at halftime. He tweets the score and then what do you think? So I always try to retweet it just to, let people know, give people a general thought. And I remember I tweeted, Father Time is catching Kelce, and people just went crazy about it. But this, I think, is the difference between me and you, Lance, and how I've been able to grow and how you haven't been able to grow. I don't think that people see this from you coming from an honest place. I get things wrong. I get things right. But I think that my show has grown and grown over the years. And despite the changes that have happened around me, how the show has maintained popularity is because I think the audience knows that my Chiefs takes come from an honest place. This is how I feel about them. So when the Chiefs re-sign Trey Smith and I'm the one person saying I would not have done this deal, it's not for shock value or attention. No, that's what I think. This is how I feel when they sign Nick Bolton to a deal, even though I'm a Missouri fan, and I come on there and say, this is bad cap management, and I think from a positional value standpoint, this isn't a good deal. I'm willing to walk in the fire with my takes. I think you also are willing to walk in the fire, so I will give you that. You are a gunfighter, and you are going to take shots. But I think what you were describing, like the fact that people take such joy in it, again, goes to the point that we were talking about. This is the brand that you have created. You dunk on people, so people can't wait to dunk on you. So if I'm giving you one piece of career advice, take this piece of career advice. Be better. That's what I'm telling you. That's why I'm doing this. I'm still at work. I did a 4-hour radio show, and I sat here watching KU so I could give you this life lesson for free. Think of this like an internship, Lance the Spoken. I'm trying to help you. I want you to be a better Chiefs content creator. I want to help you.
So let me ask you though, okay, I'm listening to this. And so you're saying that, Lance is putting all this out, salacious work, but there's no veracity there. His is not truthfulness. His is just for shock value, right?
I don't think that's how the audience feels, but I cannot speak for Lance how he feels on his takes. I cannot speak for that. So I'm not here to say, it doesn't come from an honest place. I am telling you, I don't think that the audience feels it comes from an honest place. And I think that is partly why Lance has not grown Lance has been doing this I'm just saying, I'm being serious. This isn't even hating. You know how hard it is to be doing the Chiefs for 15 years and only have 6,000 followers on Facebook? You know how hard that is? Think about this. You number one picks, Mahomes, all of this stuff. You're not growing as a content creator. And Marcus here thinks you're the best at it. If you are the best and you haven't attracted the audience, what do you think is the disconnect?
I said two of the best, by the way. Two of the titans of Chiefs content creators.
What started this thing and what made me retweet it is you put Lance is the best content creator in Kansas City, which is a lie.
Well, I mean, like, the man that everybody loves to hate. How about that? That's
a lie, though. We said we were doing this in truth. That's a lie. He's not the best.
He's one of the most notorious, though.
Okay, yeah. I'll give you that. No, I will give you that. He is one of the most notorious Chiefs content creators. I will 100% give you that. We agree there. We don't got to argue about everything. I agree with that.
And that's a pretty good tag, Lance. I mean, that can be your brand. That's a good brand to have.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
I'm just saying, be you. You know what, Nick Wright? I always tell people this story. You guys know I interned for Nick. So, and then I worked for Nick, and the last time that Nick and I were technically coworkers, and he took the Houston job, and we went to go eat, and he was dropping me back off at the car, and we were like sharing how much we care about each other. And Nick told me, he said, "You're going to be good at this." He said, "Just remember that when you are behind the microphone, always be 100% yourself. And if you are not at any time, the audience will turn on you and they will hate you for it because they can tell." People are not stupid. People know. We listen to rap music. You can tell who really lived that life and who didn't really live that life. And I'm telling you, I think the audience doesn't feel like Lance is authentic and true. And that's how I think he has been passed up by so many other creators, and how when Lance tries to do real hardcore Chiefs things, why it doesn't resonate and why trolling resonates with him, because that's the audience that he has crafted over the years. That's what happened. But there's time to turn around. We still got 10 years of Patrick Mahomes. You can change.
Or just lean into it harder.
Yeah. Or be 100% who you are. Whoever that is. Whoever that is. Be 100% who you are. Yeah, one time, Lance and I got into this argument a while ago where I felt like Lance on Facebook was trying to be Dr. Phil, but within was trying to be hot take artist online. I'm like, bro, your internet personalities, they don't match up. It's not like Lance and I just started arguing about these things. We've been arguing about these things for 7 years. Now, I'm happy that it's come to a conclusion. I don't ever have to argue with Lance again. I've told Lance every thought that I have in my head about him. But yeah, like I just don't think people think that Lance is real. And I think if Lance wants to grow, then I think Lance has to come off as real.
Okay, so that's what you're saying. You say he's inauthentic.
I think that's how people perceive him to be. Yes.
Lance, I know you have to go here soon, buddy. This is kind of going on for a good while.
This was a great use of my time. I'm here to tell you, I'm really happy to do this. I'm happy.
So I mean, Lance, hold on. I want Lance. I want you to respond to that, man. Of Carrington to call you inauthentic. Really,
I didn't say that. Hold on, Jason. Okay, I did not say that. I said I think that the audience feels that way about Lance. Okay, just want to be sure. I did not call him that. I don't know.
I got you.
Okay, thank you. I just want that to be clear.
Yeah, but he believes for the fans and the audience to believe that you're inauthentic. Okay, go ahead, brother.
Yeah, that's an opinion, and I respect Carrington's opinion for saying that. And I don't want to sound overly diplomatic about it, but I know who I am, and I know what I've provided, and I appreciate Carrington knowing the exact amount of Facebook members I have in my Facebook group that has been around since December 10th, 2015.
I looked it up.
I'm sorry, 2010. I apologize. I appreciate that, Carrington. And if you guys would like to join us, feel free, man. That number will definitely go up, especially if I'm on a show like this.
I would encourage people to go on there. I'm here to promote it.
Concerns. It's an honor.
Lance, really quick. Hold on. What's the name of your? Let's try to get you some followers. What's the name of your podcast page? Tell people about it. They obviously haven't seen it, so tell them about it. You don't want to promote it?
Are we done? I was asked a question by JD. I was trying to answer it. So if that's
no, okay, I want you to promote the Facebook. My bad. I apologize. I'm sorry, JD. I apologize. No disrespect to you guys' podcast. I'm sorry. My bad.
Yeah. So JD, that's something I've been definitely attacked by people saying that I'm just trying to be a hot take artist, or there's no way somebody actually believes the things you say. That doesn't wreck my peace at all. I am somebody that, like I said, I stand by every single take I've ever had, bad, good, mediocre, whatever you want to classify it as. I have to live by everything I've put out there. So if it's something that I do to be inauthentic, I would like to believe that I'm going to be somebody who's going to be very inconsistent with my takes. But for somebody to say that I'm inauthentic, but yet I'm always consistent in what I say. I mean, I'm going to let my takes defend themselves, whether people agree with them or not. You can look back on the things that I've said from day one on something. If it's nuanced, if it's something that changes, then I have the right to change my opinion. But there's never been a time where I can look back and say, you know what, I'm going to do this just to piss people off. I'm going to say this because I know people are just going to be upset. It's something that I'm genuinely feeling. It's something I genuinely been thinking, and it's something I genuinely want to share. Do I have the success of Carrington Harrison? I do not. And you know what, Carrington? Congratulations to your success, man. I'm very happy for you. It's awesome that you have the biggest show, biggest platform in the city. But that's not what I want. So for you to say that I should try to be that, you don't even know what I want. What I
never said that. For the record, I never said that.
You've been saying it in other ways for the whole night, and it's okay. The point I'm trying to make, though, is I'm at peace with what I provide. I'm at peace, and I'm proud of the numbers I have. The small little group I have and the Twitter followers I have, I'm proud of those, dude. I have great conversations with people that I never would have met otherwise had I not started these shows and had these conversations with people across the world. We have people in Nigeria that watch my show. So it may not be a lot of people. It may not be as many people as you, but I'm proud of it, dude. 15 years of my life I put in this, and it's been authentic as hell, and I'm going to live with that. If I died tomorrow, I'd die a happy dude because I know I gave people exactly what I thought when I thought it, and we had great conversations throughout it. If people don't like me, that's fine. Like you said, you're not going to get a 100 approval rating, and I might have a lower approval rating than you, but I still have my dignity of understanding that everything I put out there is exactly what I'm thinking and feeling at the time, and that's what I'll live with, man. So congratulations to you and all your success, man, and I genuinely appreciate all the advice.
Yeah, for sure. I just want to be clear what you said there. I don't think you should compare yourself to me. That's not at all the message of this today. So I don't want you to leave with that takeaway because that's not how I feel.
Okay.
Since we're closing this out soon, you give your opinion.
That was good though. No, Lance. What you said there, that was good. That was good. No, that was. I appreciate that.
You give your opinions for a living. You speculate on what you feel the audience thinks. What do you think though? Do you think that Lance really believes his takes, or do you think he does that for shock value?
I don't know. I can't answer that because like that's like going inside Lance's mind. So like to me, that's just like trying to guess how Lance thinks. Yeah, I mean, I guess what I know is I think that Lance has built an audience or just trying to build an audience off trying to dunk on more successful people. I feel like that is part of Lance's brand, which that might be authentic or inauthentic. I just think that we have evidence that there is a ceiling that you are going to reach creatively if that is your brand. And I feel like through the course of this, I feel like Lance communicated to us what he thinks the public views his brand as. And I guess now the question to Lance is, as a Chiefs content creator, do you want that to continue to be your brand? If you're happy with what you've done, hey, great. I'm not here to tell you to be unhappy with what you feel like you've accomplished at all. And that's not my job at all to do that. Again, there's enough lane, there's enough food here for everybody. I want everybody to eat. Everybody can create. Everybody can create a podcast. Everybody can write a blog. That is not, I don't have a monopoly on any of those things. Not at all. I got to go get my charger here real quickly. Give me 2 seconds. I'll be right back.
Well,
Lance,
I think we did.
I think we did. Lance, I know you got to go soon in a second. We'll give you your final thoughts, and we can get out of there, and you can go do your Friday night biz.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Before you give it final thoughts, man, what I want to do, I want to get both of y'all's you hear both your thoughts. Really, what we wanted to accomplish here tonight, right? What is that? Moving forward, what does this look like? You know what I mean? Like if we're airing everything out, both guys will be honest how they feel about each other, how they feel about their content, what they do. Hey, I haven't been stealing from you. They believe, maybe some things that you've been doing, could be biting from other people. But I think, look, it's just like everybody else's opinion. Everybody has opinions. And I do believe that everybody believes their opinion that they're making. If not, why make it? That's what I'm saying. I mean, why come out here just to make it? Now, if you're sitting over here trying to be in a safe space and saying, I'm not going to say anything about these guys and whatnot, and I say this just from a former player, I protect our guys because I know what it means to be out there on the field, okay? And so my take and my perspective comes from a different place than everybody else as being fans. Now, I'm also a fan because I'm not playing now, but I do get it. I do understand as far as like what it means to actually put the helmet and shoulder pads on to be out there and actually playing. And so one of my contentions was, just whether it be Lance or whether it be Carrington, there's sometimes, that the takes that y'all make, the guys look at it like, oh man, like, this is a little crazy. Some of the things that's being said.
Sure.
And so I would say, even so, Lance, salacious things that you say, Carrington saying the same thing. It's pretty much kind of the same. And the question is, how come you're not getting as many likes and followers as he is, right? How come you're not as visible as he is? And that was my question is this something that people look at and saying, is this something that he's punching down on? And I don't think Carrington's actually saying that. I think he's just saying, well, shoot, even if some bad pub is good pub for you, and I'm out here to win, I'm sitting there talking to you because all game is fair. Everybody's fair game out here. Everybody's fair game. Right. So my thing is, like, we're asking with this, what is supposed to be accomplished off this thing, and that's why it was important to me, because I don't really know about the feud, to be honest with you. Marcus brought this thing up, and I'm like, this is kind of interesting. I wanted to hear what this thing was all about, right? Because what makes somebody, okay, this is helpful for us, what draws somebody to one place and not another, sure. Right? Yeah. Somebody in their head saying, oh man, let me go over here to listen to him as opposed to going over listening to Lance. And like I said, you're the guy that everybody loves to hate, right? Or Sean Bradley that everybody likes to dunk on, shoot, why? What makes you different from Carrington?
Well, I mean, I can only speak from my perspective when it comes to the comparison. And just for the record, the only thing that I've had an issue with was, like I said, from the jump, what Marcus provided. I found it very coincidental, like I said, that knowing that there are people that do follow my work and that do see my stuff, and it is out there and it does get promoted, like polls and things like that, not just my cold takes. Other things get promoted, and when I hear it an hour later on the local radio station, word for word, that's a little alarming to me. And I even sent it to other people. I'm not going to name names. I'm like, hey, am I tripping here? And they're like, no, that's pretty weird. So that's why I share it. I never, added Carrington or anybody else. It's always just like an LOL, and I post it out there because I'd find it funny, because it is genuinely flattering and funny to see that, because to the point, these other people, like Carrington himself, have had far bigger platforms than I probably ever will have, and that's totally okay, because some people have those opportunities through the people they know or through the schools they went to, things like that. But it's flattering to me, like I said, these people will take something, just some normal fan like myself that just happens to have an opinion, will put it out there, and it gets notarized. So the difference is that Carrington has a big platform, and that's why I think there's a certain level of a following that comes with that, and that's totally okay with me. I'm not threatened by that at all. Like I said, the takes that I dunk on are things that I find funny that somebody is saying that I know is dishonest. Like the fact, like he references Jason McIntyre. The dude is clearly a troll. He's clearly a clown that just tries to get Chiefs fans up. So I just collect these takes and then I put them out there because it is funny to see how badly they aged. That is something I find enjoyable and humorous, just like a lot of us do when we see and hear some of these bad takes later down the road, like a compilation of bad takes about the Chiefs. It's something we all celebrate on, and sometimes it's just as enjoyable as the wins themselves. So that's why I get involved with that, because that's how social media works, especially on X/Twitter, is that everybody likes receipts. So I definitely like to put that out there, and whatever the reaction is, that's for other grown adults to decide on. I'm not really worried about that. I do appreciate, though, like I said, the support that I do get on the back end whenever I do post stuff or I do put out a show, and people do follow it, and people do get on the live chat, and they do talk, and they do want to have that's why I created this platform to begin with. It wasn't even about me. It was about letting other people have a voice, because a lot of shows, they like talking at you. But I like to talk with you. I like to have community shows, and that's why I do it the way I do, and that's why I love the way you guys do things. You set up the platform for other people to have a voice, and that's why I created The Spoken to begin with, man, because it's people, collective minds, speaking their minds and having their voices heard. My platform may not be as big as others, but damn, man, there's a platform, and that's the beautiful thing about it, is that everybody gets a chance to have their voice heard, and I like to consider my platform one of those that people get to have that chance.
I do think you're
I do think you're genuine, Lance, and I do think you actually do believe some of your terrible takes that I do not agree with. I do think, otherwise, I wouldn't even bother arguing with you about some of the shit that you said. If you actually do believe it, and I that's why I actually take the time to argue back with you. And at the end of the day, some of this should be flattering because Carrington says it to get a rise out of you because he knows you're listening. But if absolutely nobody on his show, listening to his show, knew who you were, then it wouldn't be as effective. He says it knowing that a lot of people already know who you are too. So whether they follow you or not, different story. But that's what makes the notorious part true, I think. And it's still, again, at the end of the day, it is flattering on your end, even, sure. To be hated or liked at the end of the day in the sports world, especially.
Is my thing back on here? Does it work? I'm sorry, my phone died. I apologize. Lance, can I ask you a question? What do you think is different from the content that you make that Jason McIntyre makes?
From my perspective, I come out with a more informed and a more genuine opinion. I think that McIntyre found a role on Colin's show because we both genuinely respect Colin Cowherd.
I think he's the best.
Yeah, I think I 100% agree. I think that he's that wild card on the show that gets to be the guy that riles up Chiefs fans because that's not really Colin's style. Colin likes to be the guy that brings analogous analogies, things like that. And the genuine difference is the fact that I actually know what I'm talking about a lot of times when it comes to the Chiefs, in my opinion. Jason McIntyre looks for headlines and tries to get, people pissed off to just get a reaction, to get people to listen to him and listen to Colin Cowherd that may not otherwise listen to Colin because Colin is, like I said, a guy that likes to have real conversations.
Okay. I got you.
So the whole purpose of this, I know Lance has to go. We've been saying that for about 10 minutes now. We appreciate both you guys coming on here. I know the one thing I will say, regardless if we ended a online feud, both you guys came on here and most people will just sit behind their computer dogging. We're all content creators here at the end of the day. People will dog us and they won't put their face to it, right? They have an avatar. It's not even like their actual face. Both you guys came out and you guys were behind it tonight. And you guys both kind of, said what you had to say. And I hope the area of grievances, I hope you guys can, I hope, Carrington, you can go on the Spoken at some point. And I hope, Carrington, maybe you bring Lance to Spoken on for an episode or a segment, maybe.
I'm going to go ahead and tell you that right now. I do not think that Lance is going to be making an appearance on the drive. I don't think that. Chiefs Concerns, you guys are welcome on the show. Until Lance changes his content, I don't really have much of an interest of bringing Lance onto the show. But I agree with what you said. I do give Lance credit for doing this. I do think that a lot of people on the internet, I would say one thing. If you stop commenting back to people who don't have their personal picture in their avatar, you would have a much better Twitter experience. So I give Lance a lot of credit for. He puts a face to his take. He has a voice to his take. I'm with you. So I appreciate that. Like, I don't want you guys to think that I think Lance is worthless in all of this. I think Lance certainly has a part. I think he has a role. He seems very steadfast in what he does, and that's important. Like, that matters. So, like, I guess the one thing I don't want Lance to think is, like, I don't want you to think that I think I'm better than you because more people listen to my show than listen to you. Like, that's not at all. Like, everybody is here in this space. I got a lot of respect for Ken Swanson, a lot of respect for In My Harm's Way, a lot of respect for Gunnels, a lot of respect for the people over at Arrowhead Pride. I got a lot of respect for all of them. Like, we all are doing the exact same thing. So I don't want it to come off like I am some platform elitist. That is not at all how I feel. I judge by the content of what you make. What do you do? What do you produce? We're all trying to kind of put our own sauce on our own spin on things. So after we've had this conversation, I will be very curious to see how your content changes, if it changes at all. I feel like I gave you some good career advice here. I hope that you listen to it. And I hope that through you talking it out, I hope you see what people expect from your page. And is that what you want people to expect when they go to your page? So I'm happy. I'm happy that we had this conversation. I don't feel a need to snipe at Lance anymore. I feel like I did enough of that over the last hour. I'm good. I'm happy.
Yeah, obviously I appreciate, Carrington making the time to hang out with us. Chief Concerns, you guys are, I consider you guys family. And I love the fact that I get to, like I said, catch up with my guy JD, Teja, Marcus. You guys are the best, man. And yeah, man, this is definitely enlightening stuff in more ways than one. And there's one thing that I will say is that, yeah, when I when I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. And I saw that people thought I wasn't going to show up. This is what I love to do, man. And like I said, I'm gonna continue to be who I am. I don't think that I give out content that isn't worthwhile. I think there is definitely a lane for that. I've had really great guests. Tomorrow on my show, I got Fox 4's Rob Collins joining my show. I'm really excited.
I like Rob. Like Rob a lot.
Guy. Yeah, man, he's a really good dude, and I look forward to having guests on my show that want to have honest conversation, and that's what I'm all about, man. And so we'll see how this continues. Best of luck to you, C-Don, on your show, man, and I'm sure I'll be tuning in and listening to you from here and there. And yeah, man, so best of luck to you from here on out, man.
Yeah, for sure, man. No, and just I want everybody to know this, man. Everybody is entitled to be in this space, man. Like you can buy a podcast mic. I hate that people say, oh, there's too many podcasts. Like, no, like who gets to determine who gets to speak on these things and who doesn't get to speak on these things, man. So I encourage everybody, man, start a blog, start a podcast, whatever it's about the Chiefs, if it's about your love of Marvel movies, whatever it is, man. So I encourage people just to go out and make things, man, and create things. So I got a lot of credit, and I got respect for Lance, that Lance puts his opinion on things and he is steadfast on making things that he feels worthwhile about. So I got to give him credit for that.
Again, fellas, we appreciate you guys coming on here and talking
Yeah,
about it. Again, maybe Lance can be a segment spot for you in the future. Maybe we'll work towards that.
Yo, Mark, stop trying to suggest that. No, no.
Hey, I think
you are welcome on the drive, Marcus. I actually, you know what? This is my first time listening to you. I was impressed. I think you're very good, Marcus. I've been very, very impressed at how you moderated this thing. JD, you know you're welcome on the show whenever. Lance is not welcome on the drive. No. You know what? I'll come up with a scenario. If the Chiefs miss the playoff, Lance can come on the show. That's the only scenario in which Lance can be on the show. If the Chiefs miss the playoffs, the Monday after they are eliminated, that 5 o'clock that Monday, I will invite Lance onto the show. You have my word. Lance can get the 5 o'clock hour if the Chiefs miss the playoffs.
C-Dot.
The Chiefs went out.
Yeah, C-Dot. Chiefs, are they missing the playoffs?
I'm not talking Chiefs if Lance is on here. I told you that from the very beginning. I told you that.
You ain't got no yes or no?
I told you from the very beginning. I'm not talking about if Lance is off here, I'll talk about the Chiefs with you for as long as you want.
I think he just gave his opinion, JD. I think by saying Lance can have an hour if they miss the playoffs, I think he thinks they're going to make it.
No, don't say that. That's not what I said. No, that's not what I said.
That's exactly what you just said.
No, that's not what I said. I said if they miss, I said the only scenario I will allow that. That's how confident I am that I think the Chiefs are making the playoffs, is that I would never invite Lance onto the show.
Yeah, no, I know. That's what you said.
Yeah, look. I say, man, have a heart. I think your guys really, got some things off your chest. Y'all was
for sure.
Y'all did a real good. Look, y'all both did an amazing job, man. I just wanted to thank both of y'all for coming on here and talking about this. Look, it's obviously a bye week. We wanted to talk Chiefs things right here, but I think it's important, man, when we go out here, we're talking about Chiefs kingdoms, content creators, all those different things. It is an important space to talk about. And so just becoming part of this, man, I learned a lot tonight, to be honest with you. I did, See that with your thought process. And of course, Lance, I already know where he is with it. But I think a lot of people and the people that came out here tonight, they learned a lot too. So obviously we have people on both sides of the aisle, like which one, who won this, who won that. But I think, man, to be honest with you, I think everybody wins here, to be honest.
Yeah, in closing here, I want to thank you guys for giving me the ability to finally tell Lance how I feel about him and his content. I want to encourage people to go make the thing that they feel very passionate about. And I also want to encourage people, it is okay to not like somebody. I don't feel like I don't dislike Lance on a personal level. I don't know Lance on a personal level. I just don't like his Chiefs content. That is okay. I know people that don't like Jay-Z, and I think he's the greatest rapper of all time. So if people can dislike Jay-Z, then that's okay. You know what I mean? So that's okay. So I want to thank you guys for having me on here. Thank you so much. Lance, I'm sure Rob Parker tweeted something that you can't wait to go dunk on, man. So I know you've been ready to go, man. I'll let you guys get out of here. Thanks a lot to Chiefs Concern for having. Hey, and another thing, this is the only. Please don't use any more of them AI pictures. They look goofy. Everybody thinks they're goofy. Don't support AI. Please don't. That's the only thing. I want to leave y'all with that. So have a good night, everybody.
Take it easy, buddy.
Man, I appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much. All right. So.
All right, Lance, again, it was awesome having you on, buddy.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. I appreciate it as always. If you guys ever need, me to fill in, JD, obviously, I hope that everything's great with the family, brother.
Thank you, sir.
You know I'm here for you, man. You guys need anything? I know we live far away, but I'm only a phone call away, bro. And Teja, Marcus, you guys obviously keep doing what you guys do. We talk pretty much every damn day in our group chat, so I appreciate you guys. Love you guys to death. And if it's okay, I just wanted to let people know, like I said, tomorrow 11 a.m. The Spoken will go on, episode 335. We'll have our normal bunch of small group of people there. So if you want to join our small group of Chiefs fans, you will have a voice there. You will have a chance to talk like you do here at the Chief Concern podcast, obviously with these great guys. And we'll have Fox 4's Rob Collins on. He's the sports director over there. Looking forward to getting his dialogue as well. So I just wanted to throw that out there real quick. But other than that, I wish nothing but success for you guys. You guys know that. I believe in your show. I think it's the best show in the content community of all Chief shows. Because you guys have that unique blend of a former player that knows the game and understands the game more than just playing it, and you have two guys like the Dash brothers that have incredible standpoints on the NFL. Even though we might not see eye to eye, I love the fact that even in the takes I may disagree with, I always understand that you guys have a viewpoint from authenticity. That's something I try to achieve as well, and I think that's the best thing about it. And I want to make sure that I hammer it home that I think I speak for all you guys when I say that we don't view each other as competition. We view each other as a community, a family that shares thoughts, viewpoints, and opinions. I'm not trying to take you guys down. I'm not trying to be the best of something like this. My ego doesn't need that. I'm very content with the life I lead. I'm very content with the show I put out there, the takes I make, and I love the fact that I can come to a show like this and know that we have like-minded individuals that echo those sentiments. So I love you guys again. If you guys need me, you guys know I'm always ready to go and ready to talk football.
Of course, brother.
Appreciate my brother, man. Love you, my brother.
Love you guys.
Appreciate
Love you, buddy. Have a good party, man.
You too. Yeah. Thanks, guys. Thank you, guys.
All right.
See you, buddy. All right. Well, whoa. I don't know if we ended the feud, but I think it was a good start for everything. But man, there's like we've always hinted out on the show with you guys. There's a bit of a feud in this content creation space, and again, it's not personally, but it's catered towards the content. But man, that was I mean, the intent of this was right, to have these guys speak out and and actually back up what they were saying, because these guys have gone at it, like we mentioned, over Twitter. They go at it, some on the radio airwaves, some on Twitter. But hey, they both came on here and voiced it to each other. And I got to say, it was good to see both these guys kind of back up what they had to say. There's no backtracking for either one of these guys, both guys. And I'll say this too. I really do think a Lance spoke, because like Lance spoke in a Carrington Harrison segment, even a 5-minute spot. Like for me,
I think it's got legs.
It does have legs. I will say it
has legs.
Everybody remembers the who was it? It was John Clayton and Sean Salisbury. That little 5-minute segment he was doing on ESPN. That would be a Carrington and Lance spoken. I mean, I don't know. It doesn't seem like Carrington's going to go for it, but I do like a potential of that. These guys, I mean, they obviously headbutt on a lot of issues. 5-minute segment, you go back and forth, one topic, boom. So
I think he's, like I was trying to say during this show just now, he didn't only dunk on him because it's fun to dunk on him. If he was just dunking on some guy named like Mark who, dogs him on social media and he just wants to dunk on him, he wouldn't do that on his show. He did it on his show because he knows people know who Lance is. Like, he's got that kind of notoriety, right? Like, Lance is known like that. So you did that because people would pick up on who you're dogging and people would enjoy it. Like, so I think it would have legs. I think they'd have a good, it'd be a good little session there. I also do want to say, as someone who's known as being a contrarian on this show, I think it's very easy to get branded, I guess, as he put it, but typecasted as coming from a certain angle. Because I don't say things because I want to just take the opposite opinion of either one of you. I do it because I really do believe it, right? So I feel that side of it a bit when you get kind of a reputation for saying things for a purpose, and then people tend to think that everything you say after that is for that same purpose, right? It's like, oh man, like, you're bringing up Like, yeah, it happens all the time. You see that? I see the comments. People just think I'm just doing it. But yeah, I really am genuine. But I do hear Lance out, and people expect something of you when you're known for doing something. That's all.
And I like what Marcus kind of said is, are you going for the low hanging fruit? Are you punching down on a guy that, doesn't have a whole lot of followers, right? He's the easy target, because he is the one that everybody loves to hate. Well, if you're telling everybody you're making fun of him all the time, then that's more people's going to be jumping on like, oh man, I'm going to go see what this guy had to say. Look, I think it was a good debate tonight. I really do. What this is going to turn into, I'm not quite sure, but I think it can be fine. I think Lance is actually going to have a little bit more followers now, based off of this, which would be great. It'd be great. So
everyone should tune in tomorrow and see if they think he's genuine.
So Marcus, So Marcus, you could put on here, can't you, a poll? Who won the debate tonight?
I can do that. Yeah, I can do that.
Thanks, guys. I'm getting a lot of support in these comments. I really appreciate it. I didn't need the ego boost, but thank you anyway.
So with that right there, Slim is chilling. See that clown JD 2 all season ago for thinking Fortson would have a big year. Yeah, Fortson got hurt. So what can you do about that? Hey, I was wrong, right? And so you could get pigeonholed into an answer.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, listen, with the tight ends, they could have easily scored so many points or so many touchdowns. Didn't quite happen because things do happen on the field. But ain't no big deal.
Look, this goes for Lance. This goes for all three of us. This goes for CDOT. When you talk about any topic, the amount that we talk about that topic, and that topic in our case is the Chiefs, but any topic, you tend to also think out loud sometimes. And when you think out loud, you say things that maybe not 100% convictions behind, but you're like, I don't know, what is it? Is he, is he spending too much time doing this? And, that becomes your take all of a sudden. Like, oh, JD thinks, so-and-so's got his mind off football. There you go. See, and that's how you get misquoted. But you don't think that all the time that, oh God, I'm going to die on that hill. Sometimes you're just thinking out loud because you're talking about it for 7 hours. CDOT talks about the Chiefs for 3 to 4 hours a day. I mean, when you do it that much, you're going to talk some stupid crap that you might not 100% believe in. That just becomes your take. We live in the take world now.
Right.
And that's what makes it annoying to have the people out there who keep receipts and track other people's takes. It's like, dude, that was hour 4 that week for you guys, for instance, with all the shows. I'm on 2 of them, but you guys double and triple me. So you guys are talking about it for 5 to 6 hours a week. You're like, after 5 or 6 hours, yeah, I'm going to say some crap that I stand behind 50% maybe now that I really think about it. But yeah, anyway.
I did tell Lance this. I didn't get a chance to talk to him because both of them just kind of took the mic and ran with it a little bit tonight. I will say they both let each other talk. There wasn't a lot of interruptions. I thought for a second there was going to be Pierce Morgan's Unfiltered show where they have eight panelists and they all just interrupt each other the entire time. So I will say at least that. Jeff Shirk, Pinnell had Wi-Fi issues on vacation. That's why he wasn't on the other night. I apologize for that. I mentioned it multiple times on that show. What I was saying was, guess I lost my train of thought here. Yeah, I told Lance this because the whole Tyquan Thornton thing, and he said he was the first one to mention that he could be a trade candidate or whatever. I'm like, dude, I was like, you don't get. I mean, we're all on the same team, right? We're not all nationally audiences, right? We're not talking about all 32 teams. We're talking about one team. And when people talk about trade candidates and look at positions, Tyquan Thornton would have been the most likely one. Like, oh man, he's right. Rashee Rice is back now. He's one that's not getting really many snaps. We're not going to trade Royals. We just drafted him. It'd probably Tyquan Thornton. He's got a 1 year left in his deal. This is it. So and he said that was his idea. He was the first one to say that. I'm like, if you just, guy's got a 4-hour show to cover. If you just look at an idea to talk about a potential trade guy. Tyquan Thornton would have been the first one for a lot of people's eyes. And Lance sometimes thinks like that because he said it first or he tweeted it out first. That was his idea and he's got it copyrighted over that. It's like, no, it's not. That's not it. I'm sure we talk about stuff on the show that you and I have talked about, JD, that somebody else might have tweeted it the other day and we didn't see it, but that doesn't mean we copied off that person. And I'm not going to say oh, I copied you. No, no, that's not how it works.
Oh, well, shoot. I'm thinking, I'm looking at the board right here. How many times you talked about doing down in the dungeon, putting stuff on the board? And everyone's like, oh, somebody was like, well, Groom started it first. I'm like, man, we've been talking about this. I've been saying I want to get back to my coaching roots and put some things on board. You start writing some things up. So,
Gruden started what? Putting things. Well,
he was, Gruden, I guess on his show, he was putting everything on, the board. On the board and stuff like that. So somebody was like, oh, y'all biting Gruden. I'm like, no. Yeah, right? Like people can have great ideas, and several people can have the same ideas. And so like what you were saying before, Chiefs content, there's only a certain amount of things you can talk about. It really is.
Yeah.
It's like it's just going to come up.
And if we all had to comb the friggin' social media to look for that opinion before we post it, it would make it completely disingenuous and fabricated at that point. Yeah. And two, like, no one would ever post anything. Oh, Mike 775329 said Tyquan Thornton should get traded. Guess I can't post about that anymore. I'll just retweet him and give him all the love because he got there first. Like, I mean, it's just a stupid random thought. And, you rely on it to take off from there. I don't know. It's ridiculous.
And I will say something he did say. He kind of went back on it as well. But like, he said he's trying to kill the competition out there. But at the same point, he wants everyone to eat. That's not the way hey, he's competitive, and I respect that he's competitive. But like when we have our show on here, and I'll say this, it is a lot, and I've talked about it before in the show, and I'll say it again. I'm not dogging others out there, but there's the Arrowhead Prize of the world, the KCSNs of the world. They don't retweet other people's accounts. They just don't do it. They won't retweet Chief Concerns tweet. They won't retweet Kingdom Cast's retweet. Maybe they have, but from what I know, that's like a kind of a rule of thumb for them. They don't retweet other people's podcasts or other stuff. We don't do that. We're trying to uplift everybody. Like this episode may or may not have worked. We're trying to create a community of cohesion. You may not agree with everything, Lance says or Carrington says, but we wanted them to like not have these beefs where like this guy's dogging him on his radio show, or Lance is calling him out on Twitter. We don't want a kind of a community like that. We just don't want that environment like that. So on this show, we're not trying to kill other podcasts. We're not trying to take from Kingdom Cast. Like, no, actually, you like us, you'll like Kingdom Cast because, hey, they're going to talk about the Chiefs as well, and they have their own spin on it. Or Kingdom Says podcast, they're going to have their own spin on it. So, no, we're not trying to kill others. No, I want them to succeed just like us. And you know what? One person can subscribe to 8 different YouTube channels they want to. They can subscribe to 20 different YouTube channels they want to. They may not listen to it the night it's live, but hey, next morning on the drive to work, I'm going to listen to that podcast that I didn't get to listen to last night because my other podcast was on. I mean, I can go in the shower and listen to that podcast. I mean, that's how I feel. So, I mean, like, yeah, to each their own, but kill the competition. I mean, come on.
What do they say?
I think he got carried away in saying he wants to be the best. No, I just think he took that to like a 9 out of 10 on I want to be the best, and kill. I want to be the best equals kill the rest is what happened. I think.
Yeah, well, I think it was the sentiment, right? But so what we're saying is, shout out to Kingdom Cast, D-Mac and Wake, and all those guys out there. And what we do when anybody comes by me on my Twitter page or whatever, I usually hit a like. I do. Shoot, I hit a subscribe. Shoot, like you said, Marcus, I might not watch right then and there, but I'm trying to help elevate everybody around me. I get it. Yes, it's competition, okay? Everybody wants to be the best. I want everybody to come here and come watch Chief Concerns. I do, okay? But that don't take you away from going and watch different other guys, and what they do. I'm not going to be mad at that. I'm not. So, there's space out here for everybody. It really is. But everybody
you mean you don't like vet their entire Twitter history before you follow them?
I don't have the time, Tage. Half the time I only see what we do on Chiefs Concerns. I'm like, what? Marcus sitting something else?
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, dude, it's funny because like I'm in California. I don't listen to Carrington's show, and I don't have the time to listen to many podcasts. Period. So it's like it's I support them all in like a good job level, but I don't listen to anything. So
yeah. we try. I think we try to provide some levity here by like inserting a Chiefs topic. JD, I know you opened the show saying you wanted to like talk about the moves that were made, were not made. I thought that was the only thing that for me, like I'm sure they have the opinions on each other. The only thing that was kind of off-putting for me was I refuse to talk about Chiefs content while another person, or Chiefs stuff while another person's on the show. I thought that was the only thing that was off-putting. You could say it felt like it was bullying. I've seen a lot of people say it felt like it was bullying. Whatever. They both said stuff to each other. But that was the only thing. Like you refuse to talk about a Chiefs thing. But I kind of figured that was going to happen based on some of the conversations I had before this thing. But refusing to talk about Chiefs because another guy's on, I thought it was kind of meh. That was the only thing.
That's why it's funny. He kind of gave his opinion on JD's question.
That's true.
He gave the answer. He gave the answer and the opinion actually, because I mean, he talked for an hour about not liking a guy. If he says, "I'll let you on if the Chiefs don't make the playoffs," you better be damn sure he doesn't think they're going to make the playoffs. I mean, that's obvious. So,
yeah.
What, man?
Bye week problems.
Yeah,
that's what we call this. Bye week problems. You know.
Well, look, man.
Life ain't bad, right, guys?
Life ain't bad.
I think that's what like the overall like, you know.
Yeah.
Both guys love doing what they're
doing. Right. Yeah.
Both guys love doing what they're doing. Like the biggest problem we have for the next hour, the last hour was like, you don't like my effing takes. I mean, okay. Like I think we're all good.
I know. It's what they say, the first world problems. Yeah. D-Max has it right, though. We can all agree Bo Nix is terrible. I think so, yeah. I think we can all agree on that.
That would have been a good thing. That wasn't a Chief topic. That would have been a good, like,
that's true.
I should have thought about that. I'm always, damn.
But, yeah. So, I like I said, I stand by that. I do think they would have a nice show with each other.
I think so, too.
It would be even a 5-minute segment, but he wasn't taking the bait on that.
But if you want to dominate your competition, bring the most notorious Chief anti-fan out there and have a 5-minute segment with him. They try
to dunk on him, as he keeps saying.
Yeah.
But again, like I said, I did appreciate both of them coming on here and entertaining the idea. It was kind of more of a jokey kind of idea. He really didn't like me calling Lance one of the titans of Chiefs content. He really didn't like that comment. And like I said, I think everyone, like JD and I said, everyone has a spot. Everyone can be subscribed to everybody's channel. We're going to uplift everybody. But like I said, I think everyone is their best in their own way. Maybe that's more like consolation prizes, but some might say. But no, I think everyone has their own thing. Like Lance, like you said, he is I think the character was trying to allude that he is the Jason McIntyre of the Chiefs content community. Maybe he is, and there is a place for that. He's gonna hold national media 100%. People. He's gonna hold national people feet to the fire as well as local people's feet to the fire. Clearly, we see that our local radio guy wasn't not too keen on some of his takes. But again, everyone has their own niche, and like I think we can all respect that. So I don't know. But I like again, it's Friday night. It's a bye week, and we appreciate everyone coming in here. We had about 100 and something people. We topped out about 110. At some point here, so pretty solid. But yeah, we appreciate everyone spending their Friday nights with us. Again, we'll be getting back to the normal set of things next week. Monday, JD and I will do a grades of the halfway point of the season. Wednesday, we'll do a preview of the Broncos game. Friday, we'll be back to our betting show and JD's keys to the victory in the dungeon. So we got a lot ahead of us. This is a weekend to refresh. Just watch football, do whatever you want to do. Don't watch football, just relax and enjoy the bye week, guys. Like the team, like Mike Pennell was on vacation this week. This is our vacation too. I mean, because we all the Chiefs take a lot out of us emotionally, psychologically. This is our weekend of rest. So, guys and ladies, rest this weekend.
Yeah. So, hey, shout right here, Slim is chilling is saying Priest has his home stretch. Go check his stuff out too, man. Doing some really amazing stuff out there as well. So your boy will be on there the next episode at T Rich. I think mine will come on. So
so next Friday?
I think so.
Nice.
I think it will be.
There you go. People look, I see. We're not trying to kill Priest's podcast.
You don't want to kill Priest, JD?
EGE. No. Hey, everybody got to eat. Come on, baby. Let's get it. So, all right. With that being said, man, look, y'all have a good night. Okay. We've been on here long enough. I think everybody got a good show tonight, man. They really did. So thank you everybody for coming out. I'm not gonna name everybody, but y'all know how we feel about y'all. So appreciate your time.
We're a community of love
Yes, we
and cohesion, and that's the way we're gonna stand, no matter what people say. So
yeah, we're gonna be who we are. We're gonna be who we are. All right.
That's right, baby. But all right, guys. So we'll see you guys on Monday. Have a great weekend, everyone. We love y'all. Teja, JD, love you guys.
Love you guys, man. Ladies
Love
and
y'all.
gents, see y'all later. Take care.
Later.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out the best clips from Chief Concerns. And if you prefer to listen to the show, subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you get your podcasts.